Welcome students, I am Upasana Shukla, I am your biology faculty, and this is PCMB, South City PCMB. We are here to give you a free of cost channel. This is a free of cost channel which provide you the material as well as the important topics for you. This is free of cost, you can easily access it and you can learn different topics from this channel. So please like, share and subscribe this channel. Now we are going to start a chapter which is known as circulatory system in human being. See, circulatory system, as you all know that we all are the living organisms. So we all require energy which we all require energy which we get from the food as well as the oxygen. You know that the food which we eat, with combine with the oxygen and gives us energy, right? So this energy we utilize for doing our daily activities. And same, now this food as well as oxygen is transported inside our body with the help of circulatory system. So what do you understand by circulatory system? It is a system which is responsible for circulating all the transportation of oxygen, your nutrients, as well as removing the waste material like carbon dioxide from your body. Humans has closed vasculatory system or the circulatory system. We say circulatory system, as well as we can also say as a vascular system. So we have two names for circulatory system. The first one is circulatory and the second one is vascular system. Okay. So come to the circulatory system. We have two types of circulatory system. In higher categories, plants or the animals, we have closed vascular system in which the blood flows inside the blood vessels. This is known as the closed circulatory system. And if we talk about the lower categories animals like insect, in insects the blood flows in the body as a body fluid inside their spaces which present between the tissues. So this type of circulatory system is known as the open circulatory system. Okay, so here we have two type of circulatory system. The first one is open and the second one is closed. Now see, the circulatory system carries blood which dissolve the substances like oxygen and nutrients. It transfer from body to heart or the body or the heart to the body. Now the heart has the job of pumping these minerals, these nutrients or the oxygen throughout the body. It means the heart is a pumping organ which is responsible for transferring all the necessary nutrients as well as the oxygen inside your body. The next thing is the heart which pump the blood and substances around the body in tubes, and these tubes are called as blood vessels. Now the heart and the blood vessels together make up the circulatory system. It means the blood vessels and the heart. These three are the special components or the three special parts for the circulatory system. These are the three main parts of the circulatory system which combinedly form the circulatory system. Now the next thing is, how does this system work? किस तरह से system work करता है? The first thing is, you all know that your heart is situated inside the chest bone. Okay, so the first thing is, this one is the right part of your heart and this is the left part of your heart. The blood vessels carry the blood inside the right part of your heart. Then it comes down to the lungs for taking oxygen, because you know that lungs are responsible for getting the oxygen. We breathe through the nostrils, and this oxygen goes inside the lungs, which are responsible for the gaseous exchange inside our body. So this gas goes to the lungs, which is known as oxygen, and the blood mix with the oxygen. It will carry oxygen and become oxygenated. The blood which goes inside the heart, inside the right part of the heart, is deoxygenated blood. It means this blood is not good for our body, which will gets converted into oxygenated blood inside the lungs, which is a respiratory organ. And then the lungs will transfer this blood to the left side of the heart, and from the left side of the heart the blood goes to the aorta. Aorta is the biggest artery of human respiratory system, and then the blood will transfer to the body parts. So this is how this system works. Now come to our circulatory system is known as the double circulatory system. Why this is known as the double circulatory system? Because I have told you, first blood comes from body organ to the right side of the heart. Okay, and then this blood goes inside the lungs. So here is completed one circle. See, from body to heart, and then again it is going to lungs, which is also a body part. So this completes one circle. Okay, and then again from lungs, it means from the body part, it is going inside the heart and then inside the body parts. So this is known as double circulatory system because it completes two circles. Okay, so we called double circulatory system. This circulatory system is known as the double circulatory system because it is completing two circles in a time, and then your circulation of blood will complete. See, this is the right side of the blood which carries deoxygenated blood. It is going inside the lungs, inside the heart, then it will carry oxygen from the lungs. Now it is coming inside the heart, which is left side, and then it will transfer to the body cells with the help of aorta. I have told you aorta is the biggest artery. Aorta. We will discuss about the blood vessels also. See, this is the heart. Now we will discuss about the structure of heart also. You know that heart is situated inside the chest bone. It is situated in the middle of the chest bone, but we feel the heartbeat inside the right side of our chest. Why? We feel the heartbeat inside the right side, inside the left side, because the sinoarterial node, which we will discuss later, situated on the right side of the right atrium, and it beats. It generates the electric impulses, which are responsible for creating the heartbeat, and it is slightly left side. That is why we feel the heartbeat on the left side of our chest. Okay, so heart has 4 chambers. Come to the structure of heart. Your heart has 2 parts, the right part and the left part. Your right part and the left part is divided by a muscular wall, which is known as septum. This wall is known as septum, which divides the heart into right and left. And this is a muscular wall which is responsible to separate the heart, and it prevents the mixing of the blood. As you know that your right side contains deoxygenated blood. and your left side contains oxygenated blood. So it prevents, the septum prevents the mixing of blood. And then the upper part of your heart is known as atria or the auricles, and the lower part is known as the ventricles. So these are the upper part and these are the lower part. The upper part is atria and the lower part is ventricle. Now the heart has 4 chambers. It means it is divided vertically also. This part is known as the right auricle, and this part is the left auricle. This is right ventricle and this is left ventricle, like this. So heart has 4 chambers. Your heart has double membranous structure, and these membranes are known as pericardium. These membranes are known as pericardium, and this is double membrane structure, so the space between two membranes is filled with a fluid. This is a gel-like fluid which is responsible for absorbing the shock or jerk. So it prevents the heart from any kind of shock and jerk, and this fluid is known as pericardial fluid. Okay, this fluid is known as pericardial fluid, which is responsible to protect the heart from any kind of shock or jerk, and the wall is known as pericardium. Now you all understood about the structure of heart. Okay, now come to the next thing. This is the internal structure of heart. Now see, these are the veins which carry the blood inside the heart. First we will discuss about the types of blood vessels. So we have 3 types of blood vessels. The first is artery, the second is vein, and the third one is capillaries. Okay, we have 3 types of blood vessel which is responsible to carry the blood or to transfer the blood inside the heart. So these are 3 types. The first one is artery, the second one is vein, and the third one is capillaries. Now what are the arteries? See, the arteries are responsible to carry the blood from heart to the body part. It carries the blood from heart to the body part. It has thick wall. It has thick wall because they stretch when the heart flows inside the blood vessel. When the blood flows inside the arteries, it stretches, as well as the blood flows inside the arteries contains high pressure. That is why they have thick wall to maintain that or to absorb that pressure. And next one is the veins, which are responsible to carry the blood from body part towards the heart. From body parts towards the heart, and they have thin wall, they have thin muscles, as well as they have thin elastic fiber. These muscles surround the vein so that when they contract or move the body, they also squeeze the vein and pushes the blood along with the vessels. So the last one is the capillaries, which are responsible. Capillaries are responsible to join the artery and vein. These are very thin blood vessels which join the artery and the vein, as well as they are responsible to transferring the nutrients and oxygen, as well as removing the waste material which is known as the carbon dioxide. Now see, this one is the circulation inside the heart. This is the artery which carry the, this is the vein, sorry, this is the vein which carry the blood inside the heart. I have told you that veins are responsible to carry the blood from body parts inside the heart. So this one is the vein. The first one is known as vena cava. Vena cava. We have two types of vena cava. The first is known as superior vena cava and the second is known as inferior vena cava. The superior vena cava is responsible to carry the blood from the upper body part and the inferior vena cava is responsible to carry the blood from the lower body part. So we have two vena cavas. The first one is superior and the second one is inferior, like this. Here is the inferior vena cava and this one is the superior vena cava, which carries the blood from the body part inside the heart. Now next is, then the blood moves inside the, with the help of vena cava, the blood moves inside the right atrium. The blood moves inside the right atrium. Now between the right atrium and the right ventricle, a valve is present, and this valve is known as tricuspid valve. This valve is known as tricuspid valve. It has 3 cups and 3 flaps. That is why it is known as tricuspid valve, which is responsible to prevent the backflow of the blood. The blood which enters from the right atrium to the right ventricle has high pressure. Inside the ventricle, the blood pressure is very high. So blood cannot move from the ventricle to the auricle. This is done with the help of tricuspid valve. It prevents the backflow of the blood. Now, from the right ventricle, there is another blood vessel is present, which is known as pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery is responsible to carry the blood from the left ventricle to the lungs. It carries the blood from left ventricle to the lungs. Now see, you know that the blood which is coming from the right hand side of the heart is deoxygenated, and we are saying that this is a pulmonary artery. So how that artery can carry deoxygenated blood? This is a exceptional case. We call it artery because it is carrying the blood from the heart towards the body part. That is why it is the artery. But this artery is carrying deoxygenated blood, which is coming from the right or ventricle to the lungs. Now inside the lungs, the exchange of gases which takes place. The blood becomes oxygenated. It will carry the oxygen and it will become oxygenated blood, and then the lungs will transfer this blood with the help of pulmonary vein. With the help of pulmonary vein, this blood will transfer from the lungs with the help of pulmonary vein inside the left auricle. Inside the left auricle. Now inside the left auricle between the left auricle as well as the left ventricle, another valve is present, which is known as bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve. It has 2 flaps and the 2 cups. That is why this is known as bicuspid. So this valve prevents the backflow of the blood from the left ventricle to the left auricle. Okay, blood cannot flow back because this valve is present. Now the blood comes inside the left ventricle, has a big artery which arises from the left ventricle. It arises from the left ventricle, and this artery is known as aorta. Aorta is known as the biggest artery. Okay, so aorta is known as the biggest artery. Which carries the blood. Aorta is known as the biggest artery, which carries the blood from the left ventricle to the body part. To the body part. And this way our one circulation completes. Okay? Now see, our circulation has two types. This circulation has two types. The first one is known as the pulmonary circulation, and the second one is known as systemic circulation. Now the circulation which occurs from the right auricle to the lungs and then the right ventricle is known, and then the left ventricle, and then the left side is known as the pulmonary circulation, and the circulation from left auricle to the body part is known as the systemic circulation. So we have two types of circulation inside our body. That is why this is known as the double circulatory system. Now come to the blood. What is blood? The blood is a fluid which is present in our body. You know that blood has two parts. The first part is known as the cellular part, and the second part is known as the non-cellular part of the blood, which is known as the plasma. Okay, blood has cellular part. In the cellular part of the blood, it has red blood cells, which is known as the RBCs, and the white blood cells, which is known as the WBCs, and the platelets, and the liquid part which is responsible for fluid, for becoming the blood as a fluid, is known as the plasma, which contain the hormones, carbon dioxide, as well as the nutrients. Now these RBCs are responsible to carry the oxygen inside our body. RBCs are red in color. It has a special type of pigment which carries iron, and this is called as hemoglobin. RBCs has hemoglobin, which is a red colored pigment, and it has iron. So RBCs are responsible to carry the oxygen inside our body. Now the WBCs are known as the white blood cells, and these are responsible for protecting our body from any kind of infections or the diseases, and these are also known as lymphocytes. The blood lymphocytes comes from the lymph. We will discuss lymphatic system in another class also. And the next thing is the platelets, which are responsible for clotting of the blood. You know that when we have any kind of injury in our body, after some time the blood gets clot. So this is platelets, which is responsible for the clotting of the blood. Platelets has vitamin K. Platelets has vitamin K, which is responsible for the clotting of blood. It means if you have the deficiency of vitamin K, then or the platelet, then your blood will not clot. So blood, this is the types of blood vessels, and the fluid part is known as the plasma. Now the next thing is that I have told you the platelets are responsible to breaking down the larger cells, as well as they have the fibrinogens and they are known as the fibers. This is the plasma, and it also contains the useful things which have carbon dioxide, which is not good for our body and is known as the waste material. This is the waste material for our body. The glucose is the good part. Amino acids is also a useful things. The protein, the minerals, the vitamins, and the hormones, and the waste material like the urea, it is also present in the plasma. Plasma is a straw colored liquid, which is a liquid in nature, liquid in state. Now, so here we have discussed about the circulatory system, the blood vessels, the types of blood vessel, the composition of blood, and we have discussed the structure of heart as well as how the circulation of blood occurs inside the body of the human. Okay, so this is here we are going to stop my class, and now we are going to end it. Now in another video we will meet you with a new as well as the exciting topic for you. So please like, share and subscribe this South City PCMB channel, which is free of cost for you, as well as it provides you the good material for your studies. Thank you. Have a nice day.